Well, joining me inside the wind tunnel is a guy that is going to be carrying a brand new paint scheme for one of our primary partners here on Wind Tunnel when he arrives this weekend at Martinsville Speedway, aka the Paperclip. Ryan Blaney will it be the red and yellow or red, yellow, and black livery for the Advanced Auto Parts Mustang this weekend?
It'll be the yellow and black one
All
that we
right.
unveiled in the off season. So we're really excited to show that off at Martinsville. It should be a great race.
See, I kind of like that black paint scheme because it makes you look meaner.
That's right. And we needed to be mean for Martinsville. So it goes.
Well, so far, this next gen car certainly entertained us, whether it was on the super, super, super short track known as the LA Memorial Coliseum or at COTA or at mile and a halfs. Are you getting a handle on it as a driver now, Ryan?
Yeah, I feel like, it's been nice to race this car at all different types of racetracks, and, road courses, speedways, mile and a half, short tracks, and, to be a different kind of learning curve at Martinsville, I feel like. But yeah, I think everyone's gotten comfortable with it and or getting comfortable. That just takes time. But knowing what this car likes and dislikes as far as changes for each track, little things about driving the car of what you can and can't do in it. So everyone's learning all together, and from the drivers to teams to pit crews. So everyone's kind of getting their heads wrapped around it, and it's been exciting to kind of be able to learn a brand new car. It's challenging, but that's what makes it fun for teams. Is I think we all really enjoy the challenge.
2 points that I've noticed that have been topics of conversation, especially when the Mike Joy and the rest of the brigade go up there and analyze these cup races. It's the difference between rack and pinion and the steering box that you're more accustomed to. Let's start with that one. Is there a difference in feel? Is there kind of having to unlearn a little muscle memory because of the different ways those steering mechanisms react?
Yeah, it is different. That was a big change in feel for us in the off season when we started testing this car. The steering just felt really quick to us compared to what it was. And so your movements had to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say precise, but you kind of just had in the back of your mind that it's smaller movements. And then when the car kind of steps out, it's smaller movements to correct the car. So all that took a little bit of time. But me personally, I've just kind of gotten used to it. Okay, this is what it is. You go back to, I drive this every week, so this is what it feels like. And it's just normal now to me. But right away, you could tell a big difference. But I think everyone's starting to get the hang of it.
And there were also a couple, and specifically at COTA, I couldn't believe it. You could hear the tires squealing as they maneuvered, left and right hand during the regular course of a race. Do you guys actually hear that in the cockpit?
No, we don't hear it. The engine noise covers that up pretty well. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty. You guys could hear the tires squealing, and it's a wider tire, so there's more contact to the surface, and that really just shows how much we're abusing those things.
I got to ask you and Adam Alexander on the Xfinity coverage, you sitting up there in the booth, sometimes with Logano, who, he lobbies for the correct meal and then doesn't eat right. That's the one that comes to mind when he begged for pizza. But I wonder, as a driver, they say seat time is valuable. The more you get, regardless, the better you can be. Does the perspective from hot start finish line help you in any way either?
Yeah, I enjoy doing the booth. It's a great perspective. There's a lot of information up there that you can look at of, okay, you can bird's eye view of where everyone's running. Okay, is someone run on the bottom, middle? Did they find something all the way against the wall? And you can look, you have all the lap times there of, okay, yeah, this guy's a couple tenths quicker or not. So all that stuff is useful. I enjoy doing it because, it's a joy to watch those races and commentate them and kind of give your insight to the people viewing at home. And then it teaches me something also of being able to watch cars and see lap times and kind of hear what everyone's saying about their cars. It does help. I'd say seat time is better as far as learning, but up there, it's definitely a good tool and I enjoy using it.
The other thing is a lot of people don't realize when we say, oh, he's got this time on the simulator, or he's got today, he and his engineers are over there in the Ford sim. They tend to equate it to iRacing. And yet it is nowhere near iRacing, far more sophisticated. How much does sim time now go into prep for a race?
Yeah, I feel like that does get compared a lot to iRacing, and I don't iRace. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. But the Ford sim that we have in Concord, I feel like is a great tool for us. I was in it before COTA this weekend, or weeks ago, and I feel like it's just a really good tool for us to use to kind of get my visuals down. Changes on the simulator seem to be good because it's a full motion simulator, right? It's got pretty much a full body on it. You have your own seat that is fitted to you, and the whole thing moves. And they do a really good job of scanning the racetracks, making it pretty accurate as far as the bumps, the curbs, and it really helps me. It's a great tool for that. So we spend a good amount of time on that, just to kind of get, mainly before road courses for me, that helped me out a lot more on the road courses. But it is a great tool, and Ford's worked really hard on that. But I would say there's not really any comparison between the two. The manufacturers are very, very sophisticated and definitely give you a very realistic feel.
All right, listen, nobody's listening right now, so we can tell secrets. Has there ever been a time when you're in that multi-million-dollar Ford simulator when you just turn right into the wall just because you want to hit the reset button?
I've never done that intentionally. I might, maybe if I'm loose, I don't lift. I'd be like, I'll just wreck it. But that's what that is the thing about simulation motorsports or anything, whether it's iRacing, Ford Sim. You're okay to take all the risk because you could just hit a button and restart. In real life, that's not the way it works. So there's sometimes I try to drive out of something I know I can't drive out of and wreck and just, I'll hit the reset button. So probably not a good thing to get in your head, but you have to be able to kind of learn and understand what you can do. So
yeah, I've never seen a reset button in a real race car. Tell me a little bit about how this next gen car either has advanced your racecraft or maybe challenged your racecraft.
Yeah, it's both really. I feel like the new car, it's challenged drivers because it's something completely different than anything we've ever had before. From the feel to what the changes you like to make on the car, how it reacts over bumps and curbs and things like that. It's way different, and everyone's relearning everything that they've kind of known. I think right now is one of the best times to be a rookie of the Cup Series because everyone's starting over a new car. It's not like you're jumping into something that guys have been running for years. It's everyone's relearning. So you see a lot of rookies doing a great job this year. So it's been challenging for everybody, and it's the guys who are learning it the fastest who have been successful. And that's been pretty unique and kind of fun personally to do. And I've really liked this car because they're a challenge to drive. They're hard to drive, and if you step it out, and you get loose, there's no quarter panel on these cars. We used to rely so much on side force with the other car. There is no side force with this car. So you can't really drive out of a slide anymore. You have to it's a lot harder to straighten it back out if you kind of get out of shape. So that's what I've liked because it's challenging and you have to be pretty precise in every corner.
Your partnership through Team Penske with Advance Auto Parts has really had so many different iterations. You, of course, always revealing who the winner of the Advance My Track Challenge is and those big giant checks. But probably one of the more entertaining things that you have engaged in, and you dragged the old Italian from Middletown, Connecticut into it, was Save at the Pump, and a commercial that's getting a lot of airplay. I didn't know you had that acting ability in you, Blaney.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a funny one. So many people come up to me and say, "Did you save at the pump today?" I'm like, I did. Did you? So that was a fun commercial. That's a cool, deal that Advance and Shell are doing. That's awesome. And it was a lot of fun to film that with Joey. And it's cool that it's gotten so much, kind of notoriety and the people enjoy it. So that's a pretty funny one for sure. That was a long day of shooting just those little tiny things. It's been nice that kind of taken a liking to it. And like I said, a great program with really two awesome partners of ours here at Penske.
Well, you're too young to remember, but you can ask your dad. It reminds me of the iconic line that was from Wendy's, "Where's the beef?" Now we got, "Did you save at the pump?" You're right in there in the Hall of Fame now.
Perfect. Yeah, that was the goal. Hopefully we.
Let's talk a little bit before I let you go about how important you feel, because look, you were brought up at the short tracks of the Midwest, well, watching your dad, and then you followed his career when you guys were located, but about the importance of short track racing, and the relationship that you have forged in Advance Auto Parts is forged with the weekly track operators, and more importantly, what I call the hometown heroes. When you look at what Advance Auto Parts has put up for grabs for these weekend warriors, how would you? I'm not quite sure how to pose this, but how important do you think that is for the health and welfare from the top to the bottom of motorsports in NASCAR?
Well, it's incredibly important. When we partnered with Advance Auto Parts, a couple of years ago. And then when they last year decided to do the Advanced Track Challenge of really, putting a lot of focus on the short tracks around, the country. I thought it was great because, everybody you see in the sport, from drivers to mechanics, owners, they were at the short track level at some point of their life. We all come from the same places, from short tracks around the country, around the world. And if those places weren't there, there wouldn't be a NASCAR. There wouldn't be drivers or mechanics or crew chiefs, owners. It just wouldn't happen. So this is where it all started, was the short tracks, and the fact that Advance wants to, really pay them the respects that they deserve, because it's what the short tracks have built and the people that have come from there. It really says a lot about their company, of how much they care and want to give back. So I owe a lot to, the series I grew up racing, the past series, CRA. It's just a huge community of people who have raced together for a long time. That was your second family growing up. Yeah. I was raised by those guys, my competitors, guys every weekend. When I was young, they were a little bit older than me, so they kind of brought me up. So it's really, really important to, give back to those tracks. And the fact that Advanced Auto Parts is wanting to do that, and for me to be a part of it, is just really amazing. So it's the least that we can do, because we owe them so much. And I look forward to this program hopefully continuing for many years.
As do I. And I do appreciate your visiting with us. Good luck this weekend. By the way, there will be 2 short tracks on the C-pillars of your Advanced Auto Parts car this weekend, as they are each and every week. And when you get that checkered flag, they win a big check. So right. The relationship is really terrific. And let's leave it at this. Hey, Blaney, I saved at the pump.
I saved at the pump too. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jack.
Ryan, thanks so much. Take care.